Welcome back to the Heartbreak to Hot Girl podcast with your host, Natalie Vanessa. This podcast is all about healing and transformation, and I am here to take you on the journey from being that heartbroken girly to becoming the hot girl that you were always meant to be. Now, if you've been here before, welcome back. Even if this is your first time clicking on my podcast, you are in for a treat today. How am I feeling right now? So it's an evening. My mom has actually taken the kids swimming, and I had a spare 2 hours. And I said, I need to jump on the mic and I need to deliver this message. I actually wrote this, not script, but like I wrote the notes down of this while I was getting my hair done. So if you're watching the visuals, guys, I am now blonde. I have long blonde braids down to my waist, and I'm feeling like a hot girl finally, because remember before I said I kept on coming on cam looking busted. Now if you go and look at the visuals on YouTube, she is a hot girl today, okay? But anyways, as I was getting my hair done, I had this idea for this topic and I just wrote everything down. So this is me delivering it today. And I've been wanting to record this podcast for the past couple of days. But timing, this is the right time, clearly. This was the right time for me to come and sit down and do this. But before we get into it, as always, grab yourself a hot drink, grab yourself a beverage, something, get comfy, because remember, we're all about vibes, energy, relatability here. And I want you to be comfortable, girls. I want you to be relaxed, because I've got a message to give to you guys. So the hot drink that I'm drinking, as you can, well, if you're watching the visuals, you can see I've got my strawberry mug again, and I'm drinking Red Bush. I am a Red Bush babe. I've been drinking this nonstop for the past couple of months and I'm not giving up. Oh, it's lovely. Sometimes I put milk in it, sometimes I don't, but it's just a nice tea. I start every single podcast talking about hot drinks and beverages. Can you tell that I am in my mid-30s? Yeah. Side note to that, as we're talking about like drinks and stuff, I don't know if I've mentioned on here, but your girl's gone sober. I've given up alcohol. I decided after Christmas that I just didn't want to drink anymore. So I wanted to just try it out for a year to see if I can go without alcohol for a year. And I thought to myself, after 12 months of not drinking alcohol, why would I start drinking again? So this feels like me transitioning into being a sober babe. But don't worry, guys. I will still bring the vibes and the energy. If you see me up in the club, if you see me in a party, don't worry, your girl will still be getting down. I don't need the alcohol. That's why I thought, let me just cut it out, because all the negative effects with getting drunk and binge drinking, like, it's just not even worth it. And as well, it's not good for your skin, girls. And if we want to be hot girls, we've got to be looking after our skin. We've got to be looking after our body and everything. So this is no shade to anyone drinking alcohol. Sorry, I'm not here to preach. If you enjoy a glass of wine, if you enjoy a beer, go off, sis. Like, go on. I'm not completely against it. Just for me, I'm just ready to step into a different period in my life. I feel like I'm entering into a new stage. I feel like I'm leveling all the way up. And I hope you can feel that energy as well and come along with me, because we're going from heartbroken to hot girl and we're all getting there together. And this is why I do this podcast. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, because I know I speak to some of you girlies and I know you're all very busy. But I appreciate you giving me your time today. You won't regret it. It will be an excellent episode. I will also just drop in here as well, guys. I now have a WhatsApp community called the Heartbreak to Hot Girl Hub. I had to think then. It's called the Heartbreak to Hot Girl Hub. And within the community on WhatsApp, you can have different groups. So let me get my phone up and let's have a look at the groups. So we've got a motherhood group. We've got sorry, I just opened it and there's loads of messages in it. Like, the girlies are loving it. They're all chatting away and I just love it. So we've got a group for dating, for those that are interested in finding love again, want advice or just share stories or whatever. So we've got a dating group. We've got a motherhood group, which is just about being a mother, about being a parent, sharing maybe some of your wins, tips, ask questions in a non-judgmental space. The girlies today have been talking about, we started talking about pocket money within the group, and then we're talking about like financial education for our kids. It's very mature chat, okay? It's very mature. The ladies in there are decent women, and I'm not surprised, because they're following me, right? We've also got the hub, which is like the general group chat. And then there is a fresh heartbreak group chat for anyone that maybe just applied for a divorce or going for a heartbreak or a breakup. There is a fresh heartbreak group there for you. That is one of the quieter groups because I get it, the girlies are heartbroken, they're sad. So I often just pop in some encouraging words in there, and the girlies tend to just like it. So there is no pressure to talk in these groups. There is no pressure to do anything in these groups. But if you want to feel like you're a part of a community, then feel free to join the WhatsApp community. I will leave it in the show notes. You can click the link and you can join. And ladies, it's absolutely free, okay? Don't say I don't look after you, ladies. I'm really trying to bring you guys together so we're all going on this journey together. Anyways, should we get into the episode today? So the title of the episode you can see is Missing Them Doesn't Mean You Should Go Back, okay? Missing your ex doesn't mean that it's a sign for you guys to be together. I know you're having dreams about them. I know you're seeing things when you're out and about that remind you of them. It's not a sign, girl. I promise you. Especially if your ex was toxic, especially if you left that relationship because of some kind of abuse, whether it was physical or emotional or whatever it was, financial abuse. If there was disrespect there and you left for that reason, I'm sorry, the fact that you're thinking about them is not a sign for you to go back. I promise you. And today in this episode, we're going to go through some of the reasons why you might feel like you're missing them. And we'll explore what that feeling is and try and reframe your mind from missing to, identifying the feelings within your body. So this one's for you. Like I said, if you miss your ex, if you miss the times that you spent together, if you find yourself thinking about them in moments when you're alone, and that is the time when it comes up the most. So say like, I know some of us are mums, say like we've got a child-free weekend. Now our world is very quiet. Now we don't have the busyness of the kids running around, the routine, the scheduling and everything. We've got time to sit and be by ourselves. And what happens when you're by yourself? Yeah. Your head gets really loud sometimes. Your head is like, hey, I'm here. Let me remind you of all the things that happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and da-da-da-da-da. So your mind goes into overdrive because you might not have anything planned. You might be at home. You might not be preoccupied with anything. So your thoughts kind of pop up. You're probably having thoughts that you probably wouldn't share with your loved ones. I know for me in the early stages, when I separated from my husband, I will put this on record. I missed him. Well, I thought I missed him. I missed us. I missed the relationship. I missed the familiarity that I had. But I would never have admitted that to my family members at the time because let's just say he is not in the good books of a lot of people in my life. Anyone that rides for Natalie Vanessa, I'm sorry, everyone's on my side. No, all jokes aside, I couldn't share that kind of information with my loved ones. So you may be experiencing this. You may be quietly missing your ex-partner and thinking, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about them? Like you're feeling almost ashamed that you're thinking about them, especially if they put you through hell, because you know in your mind that you shouldn't be missing them, because why would you miss someone that abused you or mistreated you? So I can understand how difficult that is. So if you resonate with what I've said in this opener, then this episode is 100% for you. So missing them doesn't mean that you made the wrong decision. It doesn't mean that you did something bad. It doesn't mean that you should backtrack now and go back and spin the block on them. It doesn't mean that. It feels confusing. Like missing them and then also not liking them and not wanting to be with them is a very confusing space. Because it's like, yes, you've got the pain of missing them, but you don't also want to be around them. The thought of them coming into your space or even you being with them, hugging them, touching them or whatever repulses you, but you still miss them. And I'm going to explain why you think you miss them and why you're thinking about them and why you're potentially crying. It doesn't mean that you haven't moved on. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need more therapy. And we'll get into it. So part one, why does missing them feel so intense? And I think we need to understand what it actually means to miss someone. Most of the time, the feeling that we're having isn't actually you missing them. It's you missing the routine, I can never say this word, familiarity. There we said it. It's you missing the comfort. Like if you've been with someone for a few years, you're going to miss the comfort of always having someone there. Like you were doing life with someone. You probably never felt alone. For me, I was with my ex we met at 18, got together at 19, and that was it. That was what I knew life to be with that man for all of my 20s. I didn't know how to exist as an adult without having a boyfriend. Even before him, I had a boyfriend. My first boyfriend was like at 15, 16. So I literally been in a relationship since then to the age of 30. So when that all ended, I missed that comfort of, if you're having a bad day, you've got someone to call, or you're not feeling too well, someone's going to comfort you or cuddle you, or they might not even. But having the comfort of someone else there is a massive thing. So what it is that your nervous system has been wired to them. Your body got used to their voice, their smell, the text, their calls, their presence, everything. They got used to it. Even in the relationship, even if the relationship was awful, there's still sort of some memory there where your body is like, this is what we're used to. And now we don't have it. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to act. And for me, one thing that I struggled with adjusting with after I got my divorce was sleeping. I didn't know how to sleep on my own. Like, I didn't realize how much I relied on having someone else in the bed for warmth, for comfort, for, someone to wind down at the end of the day, like to chat and talk about all your worries and issues and stuff like that. I didn't realize how much I needed that in my nighttime routine until I became single. And I kid you not, for the first 2 years, I struggled to sleep. Like, it was really difficult for me to wind down. And that's something that I had to work through. So if you're feeling the same, that's very normal, girl. It's very normal. And again, it doesn't mean that you necessarily need to go back to that person. It just means we need to put some things in place now to readjust, because this is your new life going forward. So when you take that person away, it's literally like a shock to the system. Your body, your mind is literally saying, hey, what are you doing? We've been used to this person for 10 years, for 15 years, 20 years even. Now you've taken them away. We haven't got the function here to deal with it on our own. So it's literally a shock to your system. And when you have a shock to your system, emotions can start coming up. And that is where you start to feel the pain of missing them, and the emotions and the tears might come as well. So missing them versus being treated well. This is the part that might be hard to understand. So please take your time with this one. You can miss someone and still know they weren't good for you. You can still want to be with someone that didn't choose you fully, kept you in the dark, gave you breadcrumbs, made you feel anxious and worthless. But don't get caught up in the I am missing them and forget about the reality of the relationship. I think what we often do is we rewrite history. When we look back, we see all the rosy days, we see all the happy moments, we see all the smiles and the laughter, especially when we're in that emotional state of missing them. And we forget about the reality of the relationship. So that longing that you feel it's not evidence of compatibility. It's the evidence that you were attached to someone. And sometimes attachments are just hard to break. Now, the dangerous part with this and I'm assuming a lot of you girls are lover girls like me. And one thing us lover girls like to do, we like to romanticize. We like to ponder on things. We like to overthink. We like a bit of limerence. And this is the stage where it can get very dangerous, because we can start romanticizing things that happened in the past and overlooking the reality of what the relationship was actually like. So I'm sure you've probably caught yourself thinking about all the nice things your ex used to do. And don't get me wrong, every relationship has its ups and downs. I'm sure your relationship was beautiful in the beginning. And I'm sure throughout the relationship, there were probably moments where it felt like the perfect relationship. But then it was counteracted with maybe abuse or bad things that were happening. But we tend to overlook those when we're in that romanticizing, kind of missing them phase. We do this weird thing where we like to edit the past and we just look over the reality of things. And that is not good for us if we're trying to move on, because what that means, we end up staying stuck in the past. We stay stuck in this false past that we had that didn't really exist. It existed in moments, yes, but it didn't really exist in our reality. And here's where the danger comes in, because we start thinking, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I was asking for too much. Maybe I was doing too much in the relationship. Maybe I could have done that better. Maybe we could be questioning things for the rest of our life. The reality is, like I said in the beginning, if you left a relationship out of disrespect, abuse, it wasn't working for you, it was damaging your mental well-being, then don't look back on that. Go forward with your decision and don't doubt yourself. Don't start questioning the decisions that you made. You might even ask yourself, why didn't I try harder? In my marriage, I know when I finally left that marriage, I left with my head held high because I knew I tried everything in that relationship to make it work, and it didn't work out. So I never looked back and thought, oh, I could have done that better. I could have done this. I did look back, however, and think of the good days and the good moments and the happy moments, because we did have some beautiful moments. And I will say this on the record, that man was my best friend. Like, I don't think there's anyone on this earth at the moment that knows me better than he does. We were very, very close. So I can't look at that and focus on it and go back to a situation that was completely emotional abusive for 10 plus years. And I know with most of us as women, we don't leave these relationships on a whim, especially if you're married, especially if you had kids with your partner. We don't just wake up one day and say, do you know what? I'm just going to become a single mom. Or do you know what? I'm just going to leave my partner of 10 years. Or do you know what? I'm just going to walk away from this man that I said that I loved. Women don't operate like that. We don't just do things on a whim. We think about it. We mull over it. We look at the pros and the cons of it. And like I said, if you're a single parent, I'm sure you battled with that decision for a very, very long time. So the fact that you actually left, please have some grace on yourself that you thought that through. You thought that through, I'm sure, for days and nights on end, because I know you just wouldn't wake up on a whim and just leave. And the thing is, you might think that going back is going to, make things better. Yes, your ex might have gone to therapy and grown. You might have gone to therapy and become a different person. But going back rarely heals that pain. Let's be real. None of us wants to get back with a cheater or someone that mistreats us. We don't. We want that feeling again. We want that nice moment. We want the butterflies, the infatuation. That's what we want. But we don't want to replay the cheating. We don't want to replay the abuse. Of course not. But what our mind does in those situations, it doesn't remind us of those things. It's only reminding of us of the good things. And we just want the pain to stop. And I get it. When you miss someone, when you're going through heartbreak and you're feeling heartbroken and you're struggling with that pain, and I know that pain, like you feel it in your chest, like it literally feels someone's sitting on your chest and you can't breathe, or like your throat is closing up. It's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible, painful feeling. And I understand that everyone would just want that pain to stop. But making that pain stop is not by going back to that place that you left. We want the pain of heartbreak to stop, and for the pain of the loneliness to ease. We want reassurance, yes. And we want to feel wanted and seen again. These are the things that we're yearning for. We're not necessarily yearning for we're yearning to be seen. We're yearning for validation. We're yearning for reassurance. And a lot of the time we can give that stuff to ourselves, or we can find that in friends or family members. It doesn't always have to come from a romantic partner. So the solution is not getting back with your ex. I promise you, it's not. It's not going to heal the pain. It may do it temporarily, but in the long term, it won't. It might provide that temporary comfort, but it can delay permanent peace. Oof, you might want to write that down. Going back can provide temporary comfort, but it can delay permanent peace. And what are we about? What are we all about on this podcast and what I'm doing with my content? We're about being at peace, being a hot girl, being at peace, being happy, being content. We want to get to that state of mind. Now, doing things that take us away from that goal, what's the point? That will just take you further away of your end goal of being happy and being free. So we like to keep it practical. What do you do when this urge hits? What do you do when you're at home on your own and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I miss Jack. I miss Marcus, I miss whoever, whatever his name is. You're sitting there quietly dealing with this pain because you can't reach out to your friends or family because they'll tell you that you're crazy. So you're dealing with this discomfort at home. What can we do in these moments? And I really want to give you something practical that you can take away from this. So let's be real, we all have our weak moments. And the way we get over these weak moments is making sure we have some kind of structure or system in place. When we're weak, we need to pull on something that is strong. And if you prepare for these moments in advance, then it's a lot easier to ride out these waves. So if you have a moment, if you're sitting down, grab yourself a notebook, a pen. We're just going to jot some things down that you can actively use next time you feel that pain of missing them or feeling a bit low. I'll give you a moment. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea while you're grabbing your notebook, girl. I just love this tea. It's gorgeous. So gorgeous. Right, are you back with me? Do you have something? Or you could just even pull up on your phone. I forgot that we've got technology these days. You could just open your notes app. Okay, so what do we do when this urge hits? What do we do when we start missing our partner, our ex-partner, sorry? What do we do when we start getting emotional, we're crying and we don't know what to do with ourselves? We have weak moments. All of us have weak moments. And the way we get over those weak moments is by grounding ourselves. And it might help to just do this little exercise with me, just to formalize your thoughts and to help you through the process. So if you need to jot these down, but I'll go through them now. But number one, make sure you name your feelings. When you're feeling however you're feeling, when you're feeling low, make sure you put a name to that feeling. Are you feeling bored? Are you feeling fearful? Are you feeling sad? Is it grief, loneliness? But there's all sorts of words that can describe your mood. Find the one that best fits your feeling. And that way you're identifying the reality of your emotion. Because sometimes we can associate, I don't know, you might just be bored and then you associate that with wanting to be back with your ex when it's not about your ex at all. It's about an emotional need that hasn't been met within yourself. So name that feeling. What is it? And write it down. Another thing you can do is delay and don't decide. And what do I mean by this? I know for me, I have made some very impulsive decisions sometimes when I've been emotional. I've texted people that I shouldn't have texted. I've met up with people that I shouldn't have met up with because I was feeling emotional. I was feeling sad. So one thing that I'll say to you, delay, don't decide. Give yourself like 24 hours. If you want to message your ex-situationship or something, give yourself 24 hours. Write out the text message, don't send it. Or put it in your notes or whatever, don't send it. Give yourself 24 hours to marinate on it. Because what you'll probably find is that you'll wake up the next day, you have a bit more clarity, you might have an exciting, I don't know, activity plan. So now you're no longer bored. And you might look at the message and be like, what the hell? Why was I about to tell Sean that I miss him? I don't miss Sean. So sometimes just that little pause, that little delay will save you a whole heap of messiness. Because yeah, speaking from experience, ladies, I've got myself into some mess because of that. So delay, don't decide. And then 3, ground yourself back into the truth. And sometimes we need to be real with ourselves. And as I always come on this podcast and say, we're about realness here. We're about elevating and transforming our lives. And the only way we can do that is if we are real with ourselves. So you need to ground yourself back in the truth. Like what we mentioned earlier, quite often, sometimes our brain will bring up all the good moments that we had in the relationship, and it won't show us all the bad things that happened, but it will paint this lovely picture that no, you did have a nice relationship. We need to ground ourselves in the reality, in the truth. And some things you can do, you can ask yourself these questions, okay? And you can jot these down. Again, I'll put these in the show notes. You can ask yourself, did I feel secure with them? Did they care about my needs? Did I feel chosen? Did I feel respected? And the thing is, with these questions, I need you to sit with them. I need you to ask yourself these questions and pause and listen to what your mind says to you. Don't try and overthink it. The first thing that comes to you, write it down. Did you feel chosen in that relationship, in that marriage? Did you feel respected? And those answers, listen to them, because if the answer is no, 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 and no, then no, you shouldn't message him, sis. Okay? Because that will not help you at all. Okay? I've got a little bonus point for you if you want some extra homework or extra tools in this. For this bonus point that I'm going to give you, I need you guys to give me a 5-star review on this podcast. Yeah, I need something back from you guys now. I'm giving you something, you give me something. And if you're not already, please go over to Instagram and follow us on the Instagram page. So my personal Instagram is natalievanessa.x. And the podcast page is Heartbreak to Hot Girl, all one word. That's Heartbreak to Hot Girl. Drop us a follow over there. Drop me a message as well. What did you think about this episode so far? Like, what kind of topics do you want? Like, interact with me. Drop me a DM. I would much appreciate it. So I felt like that was a little ad break, a little Natalie Vanessa ad break. So back to the bonus point, what you can do just to help you through this, because I'm here to help you guys. I'm really here to help you guys, because I went through this 4 years ago, going into the 5th year now. And there's a lot of mistakes that I made. There was a lot of struggles that I had, a lot of pain that I experienced. And if I can help someone along their journey just to make it a bit easier for them, give them more clarity, I can't take away the pain. I'm not guaranteeing I can take away all the pain, and I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to make it easy for you, but hopefully I will make it easier, and that you will feel that you are less alone. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we have an active WhatsApp community. Again, I will leave the link below. You don't have to go through this on your own. And whilst I'm not a therapist, I am here to give support as much as I can. So back to the bonus point, what you can do. You can create a notes page and list out all the bad things that happened in your relationship. So I have one in my notes right now, because listen, transparent moment, right? We're friends over here. We're family over here. This is a bit more intimate than social media. If you're this deep into my podcast, I can tell you really rock with me. So let's have a little heart to heart right now. So I had a bit of a situationship, right? Last year. Not proud of it, but whatever. And that ended. And I won't lie to you. Am I fully over the guy? Probably not. And the funny thing is, he actually follows my social media, so he might come across this. Hey boo, how you doing? We're in no contact, by the way. I don't speak to him, but I don't hate him at all. But I will have moments where I feel like I might want to go back there. And I've created a list to remind myself, and not necessarily like that he's a bad person, but just I need to remind myself why I stepped away from that situation, why it wasn't serving me. And I just wrote it out in my notes just to remind myself, like, if I want to message him, no, girl, we stepped away from this because it wasn't serving you. It was making you feel like this. It wasn't making you feel great about yourself. And it's a great reminder for me to not go backwards, basically. We want to keep moving forwards. So I would suggest you do the same. Just in your notes app, you can title it Reasons Why I Shouldn't Get Back with Jimmy, James, Marcus. I keep saying Marcus. Who's Marcus? Put their name in it. Make it personal to you and put reasons why you shouldn't get back with them, and list all. Maybe they did something bad to you that wasn't massive. It wasn't ridiculously crazy, but there were things that you didn't want to accept from a partner or in a relationship. List out all the bad things. And I know it seems a bit like counterproductive because we're always positive over here. Like, why are we being so negative? But in this situation, you need the truth, and you need the hard truth and nothing but the truth, honey. Okay. And we're going to list it out. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Be raw. No one's going to see this but you. But when you're feeling like you want to reach out or you want to go back there, pull up that notes list and read every single thing and take it in, and even pause on each point and think back to that moment. So say, for example, I don't know, he might have raised his voice at you one time or called you a name. Go back to that moment in your head and think, and try and remember how you felt when he spoke to you like that. Feel that anger again. And I'm sure that anger will say to you, you are not messaging this guy to come round. You're not. What do you mean you miss someone that disrespects you? Can we just take that in for a moment? What do you mean you are missing someone that didn't treat you with care and love or attention? We're going to get into that as well, because I did do a post. I posted it today, actually. And it was titled, What About Them Is So Necessary? And I'm going to do a whole episode on that. But sometimes we put up with things and abusive behaviors because we think that's what we deserve. And we don't deserve that. We deserve love. We deserve pure and healthy love. So I will do a separate episode on that. And if you want an episode on that, leave a comment below, like interact with me, guys. This is a back and forth, because sometimes I do this content. I'm here under my stairs by myself. Sometimes I think, oh, was that good enough for you guys? Like, it would be good to hear some kind of feedback. So if anything I've said today has resonated with you, let me know, guys. It would really help me out, so I know that I'm on the right path. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, create that in your notes section and save it and go back to it whenever you need to. Ain't no shame in it. Ain't no shame in it. So if you're feeling guilty and beating yourself up for missing this person, please stop. Don't. This is not a shaming kind of episode. I hope you don't feel shame with this episode. I try and keep things as light as possible, and my intention is not to make anyone feel bad for wherever they're at in their healing stage. I feel like this is a very normal part of life. I feel like a lot of people go through it. If you were with someone for X amount of years or months or whatever, and you loved them, there's going to be some pain in that separation because you had feelings for them. And if you didn't have this pain, then I would question if you actually loved them. This comes apart with love. So you're not weak, you're not pathetic, you're just being human. And I think it's a very beautiful thing that despite what you've been through, despite the heartbreak that you've been through, that you're still able to feel. How beautiful is that? That you're still able to feel emotions and be empathetic and actually want to miss someone. I think it's a beautiful trait that shows how pure your heart is. But what we need to do now going forward, we need to guard our hearts. We need to set boundaries around our hearts. And because even though we have that empathetic heart, doesn't mean that we have to give that heart to someone that is going to abuse it. So please don't beat yourself up. You love deeply. You attached to someone. You believed in love. How many of us believe in love these days? Like, the lover girls are few and far between now, right? We're a dying species. The women are giving up on it. And sometimes, girls, I want to give up on it too. But I'm like, I've got this platform and, I'm supposed to be promoting love and that. So I've got to keep up with it now. But a lot of people are just shying away from love. They're traumatized. They're heartbroken. They're done with it. The fact you have the capacity to still feel that emotion and love for someone that did you wrong is actually quite beautiful. But like I said, it doesn't mean you have to be with them. These are not things to feel ashamed of. It's something to honor. Honor these feelings. Honor the way you feel. Acknowledge it. Like we said before, name your feelings. Name what it is. When we put a name to it and when we acknowledge things, it becomes real and we're able to bring it into our reality a bit more. So being a lover girl doesn't mean you stay in situations that don't serve you. I'm hoping I'm getting that message across. You can be a lover girl and be on your own. You can be a lover girl and break up with your toxic ex. You can be a lover girl and be single, okay? Because the love that we have exists. It doesn't need someone for the love to go into, because we have love within us all the time and we love on ourselves, or we're learning to love on ourselves. As I know a lot of us probably didn't love on ourselves for years and years. But being a lover girl doesn't mean we have to be with someone and put that love on them. No, we can pour that into us. And as always, we need to step into the hot girl era, okay? I'm going to start doing some more episodes on being a hot girl because, yes, I want to focus on the heartbroken side, but I want to show you and tell you how you can really be that hot girl. Like, I really want to give you the blueprint for that because it's so possible. It's so possible. And the thing is, once you step into that, one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, I remember when I used to cry over so-and-so. Like, oh my gosh, like I don't actually miss that person anymore. It literally will be like the flick of a switch. You won't even realize the transition. So at the moment now, it might feel painful. It might feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to get over this person. It may have been months. It may have even been years for some. I'm not shaming any of you. Okay. But one day you'll wake up and I promise you, you'll be like, I was crying over that. You'll look at his picture and you'll be like, what? And trust me, ladies, it's a beautiful place to be at, because then you're no longer attached. You've completely moved on from it. And so here's the thing. When you're missing your ex, you didn't lose them. You chose yourself. And that's such a beautiful thing. Choosing yourself is the most beautiful thing that you could have done. And that is always the beginning of your hot girl era. Being a hot girl is about choosing you. It's not just about the exterior, looking hot. I mean, looking hot is great, but being a hot girl through and through, and I'm really going to break it down what I mean when I call you hot girls. I want you to really understand what I mean by it and how we can all embody it. But being the beginning of your hot girl era is always choosing you. Hot girls are obsessed with themselves. Hot girls pour into themselves. They love on themselves. They put themselves first. They don't prioritize anyone else above them, because that's why they're a hot girl. So if this episode resonated with you, I'd much appreciate if you could give it a 5-star, give it a comment, like it over on Instagram, wherever, interact with me in some way. Let me know what parts did you resonate with, or what parts did you want me to expand on? Let me know. And if you know there is a heartbroken girlie out there that is not following my podcast, please share this with her. Help a sister out. We are all helping each other here. We are all becoming hot girls together. I'm telling you, I can't be the only hot girl, ladies. I want some other hot girls with me, okay? So if you're in this season now, if you're not quite at the hot girl stage, that's absolutely fine. You are still welcome here. So stay close to this platform, to this community that we're building. And eventually, girl, you will step into that hot girl era. You'll move from that heartbrokenness into your baddie era. And I would love to see it. I would love to hear your stories, and I would love to witness that on your journey. So like I said, I've got the WhatsApp community group. I'm over on social media, on Instagram, TikTok. Go and follow me there. Stay locked in. Let's interact. And yes, I also want to give a heads up that I will be doing some more in-person stuff, some really exciting stuff. We're not just going to do meetups. We're going to do workshops, healing workshops, and I just want to bring as much value to you guys as possible. We want them online, in person, however else. If you've got any other ideas, I want to do it all. I want to do it all for you ladies, okay? So as always, ladies, make sure you stay hot, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.